Hi, good evening. The Russia-Ukraine conflict has significantly escalated and definitely deserves a video. Russian President Vladimir Putin has sent troops to Ukraine's separatist regions. He in fact made a fiery speech yesterday and signed decrees recognizing the territories of Luhansk and Donetsk as regions independent of Ukraine, and then he ordered Russian troops to move here for quote-unquote peacekeeping. Now, this is a move that already marks a very significant escalation. Why, you'd ask? Well, these regions in eastern Ukraine have been held by pro-Russia separatists. They actually claim their borders go beyond what they control now into parts that are held by Ukraine's army. Now, the context to remember here is, should these separatist leaders receive Russian military assistance, then Ukraine could interpret it as Russian troops on their land. So either way, Russia has crossed a line, pun intended. Recognizing the two corners of Ukraine as sovereign entities and deploying troops here is also a violation of the 2015 Minsk agreement that actually lays out steps to solve this very conflict. And by that I mean the conflict between Ukraine's government and pro-Russia separatist-controlled areas. In fact, Russia is a signatory to this agreement. So the question that follows, what now? Well, Ukraine is counting on the United Nations and the West to intervene. Shortly after President Putin mobilized troops and signed that decree, Ukraine's president addressed his nation and said, and I'm quoting him now, "We are not afraid of anything or anyone, and we will not give anything to anyone." The United Nations Security Council held an emergency meeting shortly after that. This meeting was chaired by Russia, who holds the presidency of the council. It was predictable on many quarters. Several countries, including India, condemned Russia's actions strongly. The US called Russia's peacekeeping mission as quote-unquote nonsense and a pretext for a larger war. The UK said Russia's actions have brought us to the brink. India played it safe, calling the escalation a matter of deep concern. We made no noises about Ukraine's territorial integrity, and we stressed on the safety of civilians. Remember, there are 20,000 odd Indian students in Ukraine. China, who's been watching all of this from a distance and leaning towards Putin until now, asked all parties to exercise restraint. Ukraine obviously called Russia's decision as illegal, illegitimate, and a unilateral withdrawal by Russia from the Minsk agreement. In fact, the United States also spoke in similar shades. It slammed Russia for tearing the Minsk agreement into shreds. But remember, all these statements are on one side. Nothing will be done about it at the Security Council. Remember, Russia has a veto and the presidency. So what happens next? Sanctions? Well, the United States has unilaterally imposed economic sanctions on the Donbas region, but not on Russia just yet. The UK and the EU are also expected to announce sanctions. But once again, the world is actually waiting on President Putin's next move. It is possible he steps back after what can be called slicing off two regions from Ukraine. This could help the world, this could help the United States, its president as well, considering this is a tough midterm election year. Gasoline prices are soaring, the markets are nervous, and we all know of Russia's large oil reserves. It's also possible President Putin won't step back, that this is just stage one, as is suggested by the 1.9 lakh Russian troops that surround Ukraine from three sides. But also, as most ominously suggested by President Putin himself in that hour-long speech yesterday, when he called Ukraine ancient Russian territory that never had traditions of its own statehood. Remember, this in a sense is the premise for arguing that by wanting to be part of NATO, not only was Ukraine rejecting its shared past with Russia, but it was also, in a sense, enabling American ambitions of weakening Russia. Remember, Russia's main demand in a crux to make all of this go away is a guarantee from NATO that Ukraine will not be allowed to become a member. It's a demand that NATO has repeatedly rejected. I've now read a whole lot of Russian watchers and experts who say that this has never been about NATO. In fact, President Putin ended that speech yesterday by blaming Ukraine's leaders solely for whatever bloodshed may come next. I'm going to stop here for today. Needless to say, we'll continue to track this story closely on our Instagram grid, also through more videos if needed. Before I go, here's a reminder. I know I put it at the end to my own peril because some of you do not reach the end of videos. But I personally find it so irritating when as soon as you press play to watch a video, you first get the ads, then you get the introduction to the channel, and then you get a long monologue about like, subscribe, and then finally the actual video, the meat. So here's hoping you're watching this, smiling, pressing that subscribe button on YouTube to follow us, and using this QR code to making a contribution to help Newsworthy do more in-depth, more meaningful, and more valuable work. I'm going to let that QR code stay on for just a bit more for you to either take a screenshot or take out your mobile phone and make that contribution. Remember, there are also links for this in our description here on YouTube and in the bio on our Instagram handle. If you've been watching, thank you for your time.